The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good morning, Tampa. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show where we bring you the top experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. We've got a wonderful show for you this morning. We're going to be talking about money management, wealth management. And I got to tell you, first of all, I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter. I know I did. We had a record-breaking crowd this year of 14,000 people. I go to one of the largest churches in South Florida, but 14,000 people. Anyway, a great day. Today's April 1st. Let me welcome you to our guest, longtime guest, Ray Ferrara. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Steve. And yes, it was a beautiful weekend here in Florida for the Easter holidays. And as I look out across the water over to Clearwater Beach, let me tell you, it too was packed. And they were in a church that was outside. They were not in the church that was inside.
Oh.
No, I just meant that everybody was out on the beach having a good time.
Ray, it's funny. I was thinking about Provise yesterday. You have been in business for such a long time. And you're in a business that, you know what, you get one major complaint, it could wipe your whole business out. But you've been in business for a long time, helping people with their money management and their finances. And you've done such a wonderful job for your clients. And it just shows you how long you've been around for, how great a job you do for your clients. Because in your business, you walk that tightrope. And it must be such a great feeling knowing you've helped so many people.
Steve, thank you. We will be celebrating our 38th anniversary in August. Hard to believe, but yes, we have been around a long time, and today we're working with about 1,100 families scattered over more than 30 states and managing about $1.9 billion on behalf of those clients. And yes, it is a difficult business from a regulatory standpoint. There are so many nuances that are involved, so you need to be very careful on that tightrope that you talked about relative to the regulators. But more importantly, I think that tightrope with the clients, working at a fiduciary standard of care where we must always provide what's in the client's best interest, not in our best interest. And unfortunately, not all financial planners are held to that high standard. But we're very proud of the fact that for the past 38 years, we have worked at a fiduciary standard of care with all of our clients. And it's probably one of the reasons that our turnover of clients are so low relative to others in the industry. And something of which we are very proud of. And, our best source of new clients comes from our existing clients, which is a testament to the great job that all 14 financial advisors provide to our clients.
Ray, tell people about the services you provide.
Steve, as we've talked about before, the major difference between us and most other firms is we believe that as financial planners that you should do a written financial plan. We see the financial plan as the holistic view of each individual's personal financial situation, and that education planning, retirement planning, estate planning, investing, insurance, whether it's life, disability, health, or property and casualty, all of those things are subsets of the financial plan. And we believe that if you have a financial plan that's written, that your odds of success are much better. Just think of going into surgery and the doctor doesn't have a plan on how he's going to operate, or you're involved in something in the court system, and your lawyer hasn't made any plan as to how they're going to defend you. Sure, can they still do a great operation? Maybe. Can they still win a trial? Perhaps. But if you have a written plan, the odds of success are significantly higher. And that's why we believe so strongly in financial planning. And it's the reason that all of our financial planners are certified financial planners or soon will be.
You know, everybody this morning is talking about Powerball, the lottery. I mean, it's at $1 billion. And, you know, you don't have to just win the Powerball. I mean, you can make up to as much as $1 million by getting, I think, 5 right. But what if you win the lottery or you win a lot of money from the lottery? What advice you give as to first steps that they should take?
So, Steve, it's funny you mentioned the $1 million. Since you and I were together, I don't remember whether I emailed you or not, but did you know I won $500,000 in the lottery these past 2 weeks?
All right. It's just going to be an April Fool's.
Oh, of course it is, Steve. Of course it is. So, anyway,
I tell you what, Ray, you're very good at what you do, but you got a great sense of humor too.
Thank you. So, Steve, winning the lottery is what I refer to as sudden money. It just came out of nowhere. Sometimes it happens as a result of an inheritance. Sometimes it might happen, winning the lottery. Unfortunately for others, it might be because they won a very large lawsuit. But whenever any of those events occur, the best thing for someone to do is to make sure the very first thing is they sign the back of the ticket and date it, and then be sure to put it in a very safe place. The next step will depend upon the state in which you live. Many states do not disclose who the winner is. Here in Florida, by law, they must disclose who the winner is. So there's no need to hide behind a limited liability corporation or anything like that. But your first step should be to reach out to your financial advising team, and that would include your certified financial planner, your lawyer, and your accountant. And you'll want to get all three of them together in a room before you claim your prize to discuss with them the implications. Now, this next drawing for Powerball will be about for $985 million. It could slip over to $1 billion. And of course, the money of the $985,000 million is if you take it over a series of payments over the next 30 years. The vast majority of people are going to take it as a lump sum. So that's going to be around $420 million in today's world on that $985 million, a very tidy sum. Unfortunately, out of that, Uncle Sam's going to want his take, which will be another roughly 40%. So now you've dwindled down to something around $250 million. What a paltry sum, Steve. I mean, after taxes.
Yeah, really.
And that is what you then have left with which to do something for yourself and to, perhaps do for others as well. And so with that amount of money, you're going to have more friends and more relatives than you ever knew that you were going to have. And so you want to use your financial team to ward off those people so that they stay your friends and, let them say no to all of the prospects that will be coming your way from people who will want you to make investments, most of which will probably help you reduce your wealth, not increase your wealth. But clearly the first thing to do is to get together with that financial team, map out a strategy. And here we are right back to where you and I were at the beginning of the show. You need to have a written plan as to what's going to happen and how it's going to happen and what you want to have, happen. And take advantage of that good wealth. Unfortunately, too many people who have won the lottery over the years, within 5 years, have seen a great deal of it disappear for a variety of reasons. But hopefully most people will take significant advantage of it. And, I only talked about the federal income tax. Fortunately, here in Florida, we do not have an income tax, but in other states, you do have an income tax, which would reduce that $250,000 even more.
Ray, every time we talk about this, and I've told you I was a sports agent for many years, it is so sad when, let's take an athlete who makes the kind of money that they make, and down the road, they're broke. I know those are people who did not have a plan. And I would see those people. And some of them were my clients that I begged them to get professional help because I never wanted to touch their money. And it is so sad. And I've seen shows about the lottery that people who won who are now broke, because if they invest their money right, they should be set for life, shouldn't they?
Well, I would certainly hope so. If you had $250 million, $250 million after tax, and you simply invested it in, let's just say, tax-free bonds at 3%, you would have to figure out a way to live on $7.5 million tax-free every year, and hopefully most people would find a way to be able to do that and not squander the money. I've always fantasized that if I ever won, it would give my wife and me the opportunity to do a lot of things that we wish we could do in a charitable way with people. And, we've been blessed through the years anyway, but this would be a great way to help a lot of different people and think about ways to share that good fortune with those that perhaps are struggling today. So I would hope that whoever wins would also think about those other folks and find a charity or two of their choice or more and contribute some of the money there as well.
Your firm, Provise, Ray, is one of the largest registered investment advisory and financial firms in the country. How did you start Provise?
Well, Steve, I started Provise because at the time I was working for a financial services company and had been with the company for about 8 years and had risen to number 3 in the company. But the chairman and I did not see eye to eye. So I knew my time was short there. And set up Provise in August of '86, and ironically, did a little bit with it at that time, but not very much. But it was April Fool's Day, 1987, that I got fired. Ironically, that today I just happened to realize that it was the same date, just as we're speaking. And
Wow.
3 days later, I had an office, and we opened our doors, and we grew one client at a time. And what I once visualized to be a very boutique kind of firm with me and just a couple of other folks, today we have a team of 30 wonderful people in our Clearwater and Tampa offices to help people. And just as a reminder to all of our listeners, we offer a complimentary 1-hour consultation in either our Tampa or Clearwater office or by Zoom, whatever is most convenient for folks, to get a chance to know us better, for us to find out what that person's situation is. And if we can't help, having been in business for as long as we are, we know lots of other people that may be able to help in that regard. So we'd be happy to refer them if we're not able to help. And all they have to do is call us at 727-441-9022, 441-9022, or go to our website, provise.com, and learn more about us, and then give us a call and take advantage of that 1-hour consultation.
Ray, last week when we were promoting your show today, we got a couple people who wanted to know if you do any types of seminars. We gave them your phone number, but do you do any type of seminars?
We do, but we have chosen at this point with the seminars mostly to do them as webinars as opposed to a seminar, if you will. Matter of fact, one of our advisors just last week did the first of a 3-part series on funding a college education. That's currently running, and of course, we record those, and then they go on our website after it is done live, so that people can access that and use it. So yes, we do them, and we're working on a couple of others that we'll be doing later this year. One will be on retirement income planning that we'll probably be doing in the June timeframe. And then not sure what we'll do next after that, but yes, we are doing them. So again, the best way to learn about those is we announce them in our bi-monthly, I should say twice a month, newsletter called the Provise Perspectives. And again, if anybody wants to get on the email list, all they have to do is call the office at 727-441-9022, and happy to put them on the list.
I just read the other day about accounting firms have been struggling to find talent to do tax returns. And some of these have even been turning to overseas for help. Does this create any issues for taxpayers?
Well, first of all, it is absolutely true that not only in the accounting business, but it's also true in the financial planning business that those of us that helped create the business over the past 40 or 50 years are retiring at a faster rate than new young people are coming into the business. Although that's starting to turn a little bit for the financial planning business, where there is now a much larger pool of advisors under the age of 30 than there have ever been. It's not so true for those that are in the accounting profession. And yes, it is true that some firms have actually gone to use work with folks overseas to do the tax return. And yes, first of all, you should ask your firm, your CPA firm, do you keep my information in-house or do you ship it out? And they should have disclosed it up front, but if they haven't, shame on them, but you should definitely ask. Then ask them, what are the safeguards to protect my financial information by sending it outside of your firm? And more likely than not, in your engagement letter, they may have slipped a sentence or two in there that on some occasions they might use help from overseas. So be sure to read those engagement letters. You know, our tendency is anymore with the conditions on the internet that we always have to sign and agree to. We never read those things, and kind of the same thing happens with engagement letters. Be sure to read it so that you understand what they may or may not do. But it's a serious problem for the accounting industry today. And yes, some have resorted to hiring firms in other places, most notably in India, to help prepare tax returns.
I want to touch on Social Security, and I'm really nervous about we hear that Social Security is in trouble, and then today I'm hearing that there's a possibility that this president's going to try to make all these, I'm going to just say illegals because they are, and give them citizenship. How in the world, what is that going to do to Social Security when it's supposedly almost broke?
So let's just talk about Social Security itself, because it's a problem with or without perhaps the cohort that you were referring to, and that is that they're going to run out of money supposedly in 2033, which is only
Right.
9 short years from now. There is a commission that has been created in the House to look at Social Security and to try to make some recommendations on how to reform it. This was put together by a group of Republicans, and naturally the Democrats have said, oh, look, they want to cut Social Security, and there's, the scare tactics on the political side that have been going on and the bickering, back and forth. But the fact is that if nothing happens, come 2033, benefits are going to get cut by about a third, which is totally unacceptable and just makes no sense whatsoever. Nothing is going to happen with Social Security this year until the elections are over. Maybe we'll see something occur in 2025 or 2026. But the reality of it is, there's only 3 ways in my mind that you can really fix it. The first is, and perhaps the quote easiest, is to change the age at which you first qualify, and to make the age at full retirement higher than it is today. So that's kind of number one. That won't happen with people that are already on Social Security. It'll be phased in over a period of years, just wasn't like it was before. And it'll be the younger people that will have to wait longer to get Social Security. The second thing to do is to raise more revenue. And you can raise more revenue by increasing the upper limit for that's taxed by Social Security. And the president has proposed that anybody over $400,000 should have all of that income taxed, earned income taxed for Social Security purposes, and to raise more money. And then the third, and the least likely to ever occur, would be to cut benefits. So there really comes down to those other 2. Hopefully, the next Congress and the next president will address it, because it is a very serious problem and needs to be handled ex post facto.
So it is real, right?
It is a real problem. There is no question about it. You're going to, again, consider the source. When you hear this is that somebody's going to cut it, somebody's going to do this, somebody's going to do that. You want to make sure that you don't get riled up over political jargon and bickering back and forth. So consider the source whenever you hear something that sounds really wild about Social Security or anything else for that matter.
Ray, you know what? This is like a good book, your show. It is so hard to put down, but it just goes by so fast. First of all, give people your phone number again and your website.
Absolutely. And want to remind everybody that we offer a 1-hour free consultation, complimentary, either in our Clearwater or Tampa offices or by Zoom, for everybody to get a chance to know us. And the best way to schedule that is simply call our office at 441-9022, and that's 727-441-9022, or go to our website, provise.com, PROVISE.com, provise.com.
Ray, again, thank you so much. Ray's going to be back with us again in 2 weeks on the Ask the Expert show. Ray, have a wonderful, wonderful week. We thank you so much. We're so blessed to have Provise. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
And you be careful that nobody pulls any April Fool's pranks on you, Steve.
Thank you, Ray.
See you later and have a great week.
You too, buddy. I love doing the show with him. You know, it's so nice that you can have a money management firm such as Ray's and have so much faith and trust in him. We're so glad to have him. Hey, that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back again with you next week with more Ask the Experts. Have a blessed week.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.